fair to say you simply flooded the system with money?
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve banks.
Yes. This is it. It is over. This is what the end looks like.
So that I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government.
Something called Bitcoin.
Brother, can you spare a Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. You never heard of them a few weeks ago? Now everybody's talking about them.
The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash. A method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A.
And this is the biggest story of this decade going forward, is the transition from the old way of doing
It's
business.
fucking Bitcoin.
Bitcoin way of doing business.
It's fucking Bitcoin. That's a good intro. I could play the whole thing.
What's amazing is imagine being able to own a share of the internet. Not Google, but the internet. Or a share of the monetary system. That's what this is.
Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell are unleashing a biblical flood of fake fiat dollars.
Bitcoin is the currency of the resistant.
Join the revolution already. All right. I can't let it go too long. Hello, everyone. Hello to everyone who is tuning in on YouTube and everyone who's already here on DLive. I made it. This is a live stream for the new channel. This is like the first kind of real live stream where maybe I'll be able to look at the chat, see what everybody's up to, catch everybody up on things. I thought, well, welcome, first of all. Thanks for joining me. This is LTV Crypto, formerly Lift the Veil. We can talk about that. I thought I'd do a weekly show, maybe like this, where I could talk about what's in the news and maybe even take phone calls. We'll see if we get enough people tuned in for that kind of thing. I thought I'd go over, what it is I've been thinking about. Bitcoin, first of all, is very close to breaking 60K. And then a bunch of people in the meantime have been getting rich off altcoins, and there are a number of them that are making huge gains, and probably I should go ahead and mention that on the show so that people are aware of it. This is a show that's somewhat for normies, but somewhat for people who are really into crypto and into kind of some of the deeper, darker stuff, and maybe who might experiment with things like ARRR coin, which I'll talk about on the show. Yeah, we have Bitcoin around 60K. I mean, this is it. Why am I here? Like, what is my raison d'etre? I had to think about that. Like, what am I doing? I had a thought about that. Deep thoughts, really. If you, I don't know how much to catch people up on. Some people, I realize, didn't know what happened to me. They just saw that I disappeared from YouTube, so I disappeared from their lives. And now I'm back, and it's not all a positive reaction. Some people are very angry that I'm talking about cryptocurrency, that is. They're happy to see me, though. But some people were like, where'd you go, man? Well, I've been around. I was on DLive and stuff, and then I had this YouTube channel. In case you missed the story the first time, I have this YouTube channel where I used to talk about the news, but then it became illegal, effectively, to talk about the news. And I had this channel, and it didn't get deleted because I wasn't using it. See, I was thinking, I guess. And then watched all my friends get their channels deleted. And then mine was still there with 2 strikes sometimes. And then I would think about posting on the channel once in a while. I would think about posting. I'd have a story about vaccines or something. I thought, oh, people really need to hear this. But then I realized, what would happen because I'm familiar with what YouTube does. And then, I don't know, it came to me. It's like a revelation. And this channel is still, it's Lift the Veil crypto, otherwise known as Apocalypse crypto. I mean, we're talking about end times. I just realized, you can talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which could totally destroy the current financial system. And you can talk about things that could help people either make a fortune or even lose a fortune. You can talk about those things. You can talk about things and suggest things to people that can make them lose all of their money. You can do that on YouTube, which I think is kind of crazy when I thought about it hard. You're not allowed to talk about, court cases involving school shootings or anything. Can't talk about vaccines. Can't talk about the election, But you can talk, yes, you can talk about ways people can lose all of their money gambling, basically. Yes, that's totally okay. And you can talk about ways people can avoid paying taxes. And I'll talk about it. On this show today, I'll use a secret language. No KYC. I found out the things I could tell you. If it was totally, and really talking about cryptocurrency, in some ways should be illegal. Some of these websites I'm going to tell you about today, I can't believe they're allowed to exist. TradeOgre.com, if you heard about that, I'm going to tell you about that today. It could get you in trouble. People are shouting out their altcoins. People are talking about the Coinbase IPO. Jeez. There's so much news in cryptocurrency. What's not to talk about? Coinbase IPO is coming up. We're in full-blown altcoin season. Some people are out there, they don't even have any crypto yet. They haven't even gotten over the first hurdle. So I wanted to help people with that too. So I had this thing happen to me where it all kind of happened. There were a series of signs and omens and happenings and synchronicities that led me to this path. And including also my friend Jaron, who's been around since the beginning. He was just on the show. He created that great intro that you guys saw there. And I still have to pay him some Bitcoin for it. But he started getting into it more. I'm way into it. I've got some Bitcoin. I've got some cryptocurrency. I see the way to the future. I believe it is the future. So what could I tell people about? I could tell people about crypto and change their lives, genuinely. I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to help people buy Bitcoin, really. Normally, I would have been really, normally I'd say, I don't know, people could lose their money and then they'll blame you. And then, are you going to be able to deal with that? But yes, this time, yeah, for some reason, I just got a feeling. And anyway, if I'm wrong about Bitcoin, so is everybody else. So it's not even that controversial. Shouldn't be. I try to get the last person to ever buy Bitcoin, ironically, is going to be my father. Meanwhile, I'm going to have all the Bitcoin. But I try to convince him. He's who I think about sometimes when I think about who to convince. I'll give you some evidence for somebody like that. Got to get some. You got to get some. Everybody says it's going over 100K. I mean, it's only 60K right now. It's crazy. It's like it's on sale. And then there's all these other coins. So I'll talk about that on this show. So I thought I'd catch up on that show. Good to see people in the chat. Hey, Crypto BTC Anarchist. Good to see you. Emily22. Good to see you. Yes, you were wondering what happened. You were like, oh, I watched your interview with Isaac Cappy, but see, you can't talk about stuff like that. Oh, so I do talk about the news still on a separate platform, just like I have been doing, but just 2 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. with my wife, who's glorious, at podcasting and has a British accent and everything. So she sounds, super smart whenever she says things. We do a show together Mondays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time around this time on DLive and Twitch. And those episodes are archived to my website. So the things you can't talk about, everything else, because you'll be called a racist or white supremacist or, I'm just waiting for it to be Bitcoin. But for now, as long as it's allowed, it just feels great. I feel free. I feel freedom, really. I'm like, wow, I can talk about these things. So we're going to talk about those things today. Derek Sturba says, I want some Doge. Yes. Yes, if you had been listening to my show, you might have gotten some. I got excited about Doge for a second, but I hate to confess. The one thing I hate to do is confess what I have. So sometimes I'll just have to say, I might be interested in something like that. But yeah, Dogecoin, yeah, but I'm selling when it gets to 25 cents, I think. But Dogecoin is kicking ass. Generally speaking, alternative currencies, this is what I'm picking up from the trend, is alternative currencies to Bitcoin, like things that are better than Bitcoin at being money, are doing well right now, including Dogecoin, including LiteCoin, including Monero, including ARRR, which I don't know much about, but except that the price is going up very fast. But it's some kind of new privacy coin. But a lot of these coins that are actually coins, what you would actually call cryptocurrency originally, a lot of those things are doing well right now. We didn't even talk about LiteCoin this show. It's kind of an open format. Got to talk about the Coinbase IPO is coming up. I know people are going to want to get on that. And then we should talk about whether we want to get in on the Exodus IPO. You guys have to tell me if that's a good idea. I have 2 chats up. Okay, great. I have 2 chats up. We're live on DLive and YouTube. And we got to talk about things like Theta.tv. We want to go full cryptocurrency. I mean, we are believers in the new cryptocurrency universe. I would like to, tomorrow, stop using fiat currency. I really would. I'd like to escape. It's possible if we dream. There is possibly a LiteCoin future. Anyway, I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. This is LTV Crypto. I have this thing where I'm doing cryptocurrency consulting, which you can sign up for. And I really like to talk about cryptocurrency, so it's totally fun. And people have been doing it. People have been enjoying it. I'm doing 30 minutes free, which isn't very long. So you might want to sign up for more, but 30 minutes, BitcoinMissionary.com. It's part of I was going to call this channel Church of Bitcoin. I mean, that's how I've been feeling about it, really. I don't want to talk about it too much that way because people think it's weird. But it is like a religious mission. So part of it involves doing missionary work, which is these crypto consultations, which you can sign up for by going to BitcoinMissionary.com. And I can tell you things like how to avoid KYC, for example. Even though you need to report everything, I tell you that. You got to report everything you do to the feds. I can tell you some things like how to not have everything reported to them automatically, for example. A lot of people are interested in that. I can tell you about Trade Ogre. I can tell you how that works. You don't know about Trade Ogre yet. Some people, everybody's different when it comes to cryptocurrency. Some people want to keep their money safe. Some people just want to gamble. I can tell you how to do all of those different things. Anyway, so sign up for that if you want to. It's cool. We can chat. I get a lot out of it. BitcoinMissionary.com. And then we have a sale right now on our shirts, too. I'm wearing our Nassim shirt. because I'm still anti-YouTube. Check out truthclothing.io. That's our t-shirt store. truthclothing.io. We have a huge sale, or mega sale. You go to sale and mega sale, and some of the shirts are like $10. And that's an epic shirt, actually. You know, I'm going to be sad when some of these shirts are gone. The moon landing shirts are so epic. Everything is like a slice of history. Truthclothing.io. If you stack up your cart, you get free shipping on orders over $50. And yes, you can pay in cryptocurrency. When you go to checkout, you select other payment options, then you can check out in crypto. And the crypto does not get converted to fiat. It stays in crypto. So it's legit. So truthclothing.io, free shipping on orders over $50. BSOT says I bought 100 Cell earlier. That's Celsius Network, okay? We're going to let people shout out their shit coins on this show, because you have to get your ideas from somewhere. As far as advice, why would you buy anything other than Bitcoin? I have to come back to that. Why would you buy anything other than Bitcoin when everybody says Bitcoin is going to the freaking moon? And this is just a thing. I did a video about this. It wasn't as popular as I thought it should be. A video about this article, or a report from Bloomberg for April called The Rising Bitcoin Adoption Tide. And everybody's kind of singing from the same hymn sheet. You're going to hear Bitcoin is at a tipping point. Now, a number of people have said that. Bitcoin is at a tipping point. Rising Bitcoin adoption tide. Everybody's starting to use it. Coinbase just posted some crazy numbers. I know people are buying Bitcoin because I work with people every day that are buying Bitcoin for the first time. Rising Bitcoin adoption tide. Oh, I wonder if we go to Google Trends, if we can see what it's like right now. Google Trends data. I guess I could look up buy Bitcoin, right? Buy Bitcoin. Search term. Let's see. Oh, it's nowhere special, actually. Actually, it's nowhere special on the buy Bitcoin chart. So we still have a long ways to go. It's still really early. Like, if you're not in yet, come on, get with the program. It's really not that hard to get Bitcoin. Like, sometimes I feel bad charging somebody for helping them do something that's really easy to do. But some people really like to have a little help going through it. But it's really easy to buy Bitcoin, actually. They've made it that way now. That's one of the reasons. You can buy it on Cash App. You can buy it on Exodus with Apple Pay. And I guess, whatever. People are so worried about being tracked. But you can use it you can buy it with the Exodus wallet in your Apple iPhone with Apple Pay. And it's like no fee, basically. I did it today. So, speaking of rising Bitcoin adoption tide, that is an easy and nice way to buy Bitcoin. It goes straight in your Exodus wallet, which is not connected to your identity, theoretically. So that was pretty amazing to me. Before, I thought buying it through the Cash App was the best. But buying it through Exodus Wallet with Apple Pay, really cool if you haven't checked it out. Totally available. So Bloomberg just came out and said a bunch of things that were just so bullish for Bitcoin. And all I can think is that all I see anybody saying is stuff that's really bullish for Bitcoin. So like I said, if I'm wrong about Bitcoin, then whatever. Bloomberg was wrong, Goldman Sachs was wrong, Citibank was wrong, Raoul Pal was wrong, Max Kaiser was wrong, These are all a bunch of people that are supposed to be smart. These banks, especially. I mean, Citibank. Doesn't Citibank say Bitcoin's going to 300K? Bloomberg says going up. Says the extreme low side is 40K. I mean, which makes me feel pretty good on Bitcoin, and that there's just lots of support for technical reasons and other reasons. They compare it to gold in this article and say basically that Bitcoin's better than gold, which I keep making that argument. It is. And they say that Bitcoin could reach $400,000 because this year is an analog to 2017 and 2013, which were the years after the last halving when Bitcoin went up a bunch. And they say if this year is similar to those other years, then we could reach $400,000, which isn't crazy, really. Because if Bitcoin goes up 100% every quarter, like it did the first quarter, then Bitcoin will be at 480 by the end of the year. So all it has to do is do the same thing it did the first part of the year for the rest of the year, and it'll go pretty high. And they also point out that this resistance around 60K is significant. And the Ethereum resistance around 2K is significant too. So, yeah, as far as taking out gold, I mean, I have another article about that. Bitcoin is displacing gold as an inflation hedge. I don't know. That's the way I think about things lately. Bitcoin is gold. Bitcoin to protect you against inflation. You got to worry about inflation. Inflation stories, I have a whole bunch. You just look around, everybody's talking about inflation. So to me, I got to think, well, what's the best thing to protect yourself from inflation? It was gold. But Bitcoin really, and now I think it's settled in for people, Bitcoin really is better than gold. And then when you really start to think about it, it's not even really a comparison. In comparison, gold seems kind of stupid, actually, once you really get into it. I mean, gold is great. I love it. I feel like it really is the ultimate form of money and everything, or it has been for thousands of years. And it's pretty scarce. It's nice, you know, nice to look at. It has value, desirable, fungible, divisible, portable, but not like Bitcoin. Too hard to store. It's ridiculous in comparison. Just think about how much harder it is to buy $2,000 worth of gold as compared to buying $2,000 worth of Bitcoin, you know, with Cash App or something. And that's just a gold coin. And yeah, that's relatively easy to store, but it's not as easy to store as Bitcoin. And then if I had a bunch of it, I don't want to shove it up, I don't want to hide it up my ass like that guy that got caught flying with a big hunk of gold up his butt. You don't have to do that with Bitcoin. So it's better. I mean, you can hold like an unlimited amount of money in some kind of app. Don't have to pay for storage. Don't have to pay insurance. Got to worry about it a little bit maybe, but not much different than having a whole bunch of stock or something, except that it's like gold. More like, because scarcity. So Bitcoin is displacing gold. And when I went to the coin store, the guy told me that people were selling gold for Bitcoin. So I hear it anecdotally too, that people are selling their gold for Bitcoin. So that's my case for it. As far as a price target, figure Bitcoin's better than gold. Gold is $10 trillion. So Bitcoin should be $10 trillion easy. So that's 10x from here. So why would I want anything else? I don't know. ARRR coin, just because they came out with something called ARRR coin. And I had a donor in my chat named R who was also a pirate. And I've had John McAfee on the show, and he was like a pirate. Then Monero and stuff's going up. So you might want to, I don't know. Might lose all your money too. So that was a big report from Bloomberg. See, that's what I would send to like a boomer or something. I would send him the reports from Goldman Sachs and from all the reports about Bitcoin, Fidelity. I mean, they're all really bullish. All these institutions and things, they're supposed to be geniuses. Then there are big investors, Stan Druckenmiller. So, I don't know. I'm just a retard, right? I mean, you just got to listen to the people who are supposed to be smart. People who are supposed to be smart talk about buying Bitcoin. And then people who are a little crazy, some people who are a little crazy are making some big money in altcoins too. So you could try. What was I going to say? Okay, so that's the report from Bloomberg. I thought it was significant. It's just another really bullish outlook for Bloomberg, for crypto, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. Paris Hilton, in what some people call a sign of the top. Paris Hilton got laser eyes, first of all. If you haven't heard about laser eyes, then you should know about it. Laser eyes to 100K, I think is what the meme is. You're supposed to give yourself laser eyes on social media until Bitcoin gets to 100K. So I have laser eyes. I got them like a day before Paris Hilton did. So Paris Hilton has laser eyes, and Paris Hilton is the latest crypto ambassador to join like such ranks as Snoop Doggy Dogg and the guy from Kiss. What's his name? It's Gene Simmons. And Elon Musk. Definitely some questionable characters. Paris Hilton joins it, and she's all into NFTs. So NFTs are definitely a thing. There is maybe a bubble. Maybe the bubble is letting out some air, but NFTs are definitely here to stay. And they're great if you're famous and you want to sell some art or something and create something out of thin air that magically has value. While she's into it, cryptocurrency people are talking about Paris Hilton. She's supposed to be some kind of secret genius, I think. I always hear that about Paris. Like, she's actually really smart, but she just acts stupid. So she supposedly wrote this really smart post about NFTs, but then she's in this interview. Doesn't sound that smart to me. She talks about the metaverse, which I've told people about. You want to listen to Paris Hilton talk about NFTs? Hold on, let me play a little. Let's see.
As artists, just really leaving a mark and making names for themselves.
How do you feel NFTs?
I'm so excited about NFTs because I feel like the possibilities are endless, and it's everything from art to music to experiences to like metaverses and fashion and beauty, and there's just so many things that you can do with it. So I've just been really just looking into it so much because it's a lot to wrap your head around, but
yes.
It's super exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm so excited for the metaverse when you can actually start bringing all of this into there. I just think it's going to be so cool, and I can't wait to see.
All right. I brought you a show about the metaverse. That's really going to be a thing. People are talking about virtual reality. People are talking about like the Oculus headset and these different headsets. I just don't know, because I messed around in the metaverse in the Decentraland game, and you can invest in that too by buying the Mana token, the currency they use in Decentraland. Been there, checked it out. It's interesting. Sometimes I spend a little time looking around in there, and I can see that people are going to be spending a lot of time in their metaverses especially with their virtual reality, I guess. It does look like things are going that way. So, can you invest in that? Yeah, you can. There's a metaverse index I found out about. MVI. It invests in some of the different NFT stocks and things. So, yes, you can invest in that too. But there is something about this virtual land. The only thing is I think it's pretty expensive already. That's the reason I wouldn't necessarily be getting involved in it. It is very expensive, and you wonder how much higher it can possibly go. Virtual real estate. When I hear about the cheapest it is, it's like $12,500 for a little plot of land in Decentraland. That's a lot. That's a lot of cake for virtually nothing, but virtually something. Am I buying any? No. But do I see the value? Yeah. Yeah, I can understand why people buy it. I can understand. So she's into NFTs. That's a story about NFTs. Tom Brady is dropping an NFT company. So, I think it's called Autograph. Autograph. This spring. Tom Brady is launching an NFT company. Here's another story about NFTs. The NFT bubble might be bursting already, they say on CNN. So, because some of the major prices are down. Yeah, I don't know about investing in stuff like that. I prefer investing in things that are fungible, I decided. I think the fungible thing actually makes things a little more liquid. You know you can sell it. There's always a market for things that are fungible. Non-fungible things, you really have to find a buyer. So, I'm into collectible things. Bitcoins are kind of collectible, but they're all the same. So that's okay with me. I'm not ready yet to collect NFT art, but I understand the value. And I see.
Packed a record 1.1 trillion transistors into this chip.
I invested in
Excuse me.
Invesco QQQ, a fund that invests in the innovators of the NASDAQ 100.
Excuse me. All right, so that's NFTs, the latest from that world. What else are we going to talk about? Just want to talk about, since they're talking about Bitcoin as digital gold, as a protection against inflation, just the signs of inflation are really serious. And that's why I talk about an apocalypse on this channel, is that the signs of inflation are pretty serious. Home prices soaring, frenzied U.S. market drained of supply. Most home buyers, houses are selling for over list price. Most homes are selling for over list price. Average home is selling for over list price right now, which I think is the kind of thing that happens at the end. So I do think we are like totally in the end times for real estate. I don't know. Hey, you've been saying it forever, so who knows? Could keep going up forever. But there are some issues with real estate since it's sensitive to interest rates. And interest rates we think are going to go up because of inflation. Then eventually there's got to be a ceiling on housing prices, especially when nobody can afford them. But it is a sign of inflation, for sure. Housing prices can almost keep up with inflation. They still don't keep up. This is a story about inflation. These chips, there are huge, major chip shortages, making the cost of making things like displays go way up. It's totally not fixable. Another symptom of the inflation problem. The world leaders say that there's going to be record global growth in 2021, the IMF says. Record global growth in 2021. 6%. So another sign, like I said, probably of inflation. More reasons to buy Bitcoin. So do you want to get anything else? Let me see. What else can I tell you about today? I told you about Exodus. There's the Coinbase IPO coming soon. Exodus, you can get on their IPO too. But there's a catch. And you can get in for $27.42 per share through the Exodus wallet app. But in order to do that, you have to connect your identity to your Exodus wallet. So it's kind of like a catch. I don't know if it's catch 22, but I thought the whole point of Exodus was not having my identity connected to it. And in order to invest in the IPO for Exodus, you got to connect your identity, I guess, to your wallet. And it looks like they're going the direction of figuring out how to connect people's identities to their wallet, which is kind of lame, since Exodus otherwise is generally pretty cool. And Exodus is, by the way, an app that works for your phone and your computer that holds all kinds of different cryptocurrency, and it's not connected to your identity, theoretically. But you have to keep your seed word safe. So that is going on. I don't know. This Coinbase IPO, I think, is going to be huge. I think the Coinbase IPO is going to be a big deal. I think Exodus is a pretty nice product, and I can see how they make money. They offer things like sports betting and other things in other countries, at least. So I kind of want to get on the IPO, even though I'm not really into stocks, but have it connect your identity to it. So that's the word going on with Exodus. But I did tell you that one thing where you can buy using the Exodus app. You can buy using Apple Pay. All right, what about ARRR? So privacy coins are doing really well. Alternatives to Bitcoin are doing really well. LiteCoin is doing really well. I could make videos about why I like LiteCoin. I was thinking about it. Just don't listen to me. I don't give financial advice. I really don't know which way things are going to go. No idea. I'd like to invest in things that I like, and I like LiteCoin. It transfers fast and cheap, faster, cheaper than Bitcoin. It's like almost instantaneous and almost free. And there are other currencies that do the same thing, but LiteCoin does it really well. It's been a top 10 currency, and I think it could replace Bitcoin in some theoretical world. So I like it as a hedge against that. ARRR coin is a new privacy coin that's supposedly better than, it's supposedly a, what does it say on CoinGecko? It's some kind of mix of Monero and something else, combines the best privacy qualities. Jeff Berwick is talking about it. Other people are talking about it. It went up like 70% yesterday. But you can get it on something called TradeOgre.com, along with where you can also buy things like Monero, which is also way up. But TradeOgre.com is a pretty weird, pretty sketchy, decentralized exchange. So you got to know what you're doing to be able to handle that, or at least you have to know what kind of risks you're willing to take. But you want to be aware of Pirate Chain, ARRR, and things like Monero and privacy coins. I think I had a thesis. I figured eventually one day people would realize Bitcoin isn't that great, and that they made these other coins that are actually better. And then they'd say, oh, maybe I should just use this other coin that's better, like LiteCoin. And it's possible that might happen. Or they figure out one day, or I had another thesis, one day people are going to figure out that Bitcoin isn't anonymous, right? And people have kind of started to figure that out, that Bitcoin's not anonymous. So they're going to want something that is. And that's the thesis that's moving, these privacy coins right now. But privacy coins are hard to get. You're definitely taking a higher risk with them. Privacy coins are kind of hard to get. You got to go to weird markets like TradeOgre.com to get them. But I see the appeal. People are looking to go completely. People are looking for ways to stay hidden. People are looking for ways to do things anonymously. So, and ARRR coin is a $200 million coin right now. Monero's $5 billion, so I can see the upside still to ARRR if it's a good coin. I'm not one that normally gives a lot of stock picks or anything, but you should be aware of it because it's making moves and it's in the news and people have been talking about it. Finally, in other inflation news, Kim Kardashian's a billionaire now, which gives me more reason to want to have more Bitcoin. I don't know why. It's just that if Kim Kardashian can be a billionaire, why can't I, sort of thing. So it is in some ways inspiring. We can all make a sex tape and become a billionaire one day, or we can get cryptocurrency and somehow parlay that into billionaire status in some kind of hyperinflationary nightmare, dreamscape. Did I cover everything I wanted to cover today? Yes, I think so. I think I will try this. Just to bring back old times. I will try to open the phone and see if anybody wants to call in. And then we'll see how it goes. Taking phone calls live on YouTube. Try to call in 650-429-8294. You can call in. See how it goes. I'm watching the price of ARRR. I'm watching the price of Bitcoin. I just think, we're right at the cusp. What are they? If you look up Bitcoin tipping point, that's what Citibank said about it. That's what Fidelity just said about it. So, and MicroStrategy said something about it too. Everyone says tipping point. That tells me we're right there. Like, this is it. Right now, LTV crypto, take it or leave it, whatever. But pretty soon, Bitcoin 70K, 80K, 90K, 100K, people are going to be like, oh my God, I need some Bitcoin. How do I get some Bitcoin? I got to talk to that guy. And then it's going to be like, sorry, I'm too busy. But right now, I have some time, before the flood. I'm here to warn you. Only a few can be saved, right? Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, just really curious about your position on Ethereum.
I love it. I want more. Yeah, I want more. I have a hard time thinking lately. I really am kind of like a boomer in some ways because I really like Bitcoin and Ethereum a lot, and actually I was looking at, okay, this is what I think about Ethereum. I was looking at this metaverse index, which I mentioned to you. And then I thought, well, isn't investing in Ethereum kind of the same thing as investing in NFTs or DeFi? I mean, it's kind of like investing in Ethereum is kind of like investing in DeFi and NFTs all at once. And then everybody needs it all the time for all these transactions and stuff. So I definitely see, I have some and definitely am looking to.
I'm very much into Ethereum myself, and the way I've sort of positioned it with people is that, Bitcoin is the whatever you want to call it, the Pepsi, the Nike. But for every one of those, there is a secondary company that is equally profitable and worth investing and seeing through.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Bitcoin is, Bitcoin is its own thing, but then Ethereum is something totally different, and it really lets you invest in some of these future technologies too.
And not just a coin, but a network that other coins are going to utilize. Right. And so it has value beyond just the fact that it's a non-renewable source, right?
Right. Non-renewable source.
To me, it's actually more valuable, I think, than Bitcoin in certain ways, because it has unique values and it's not going to be easily fungible or non-fungible. I'm still working on that.
Well, the only thing about Ethereum that I don't quite understand, which is that there is no capped supply. So I'm not sure exactly how the supply of Ethereum works, except that so far it works okay, and so the value keeps going up. That's the only thing that's a little weird about it. Is
well, I may be mistaken, but I thought that there was a cap supply, and that just within the last couple of weeks that they actually intentionally eliminated certain tokens, which sort of provoked a battle between the Ethereum miners and the system itself, because they wanted to cap the space and create more value within.
Right. Somebody's mentioning, this is a big story that they were looking to make a change which made Ethereum deflationary. In other words, that it's actually going up in value and that the coins are getting destroyed. So apparently people say that is happening. Someone in the chat says they're doing that in July. So that is a change that's coming up. That it would make it more appealing if they start deleting Ethereum.
July,
it's a good thing.
Correct. Whoever is saying that, I stepped away. But July, there is supposed to be I don't know if it's 2.0 or what. There's an Ethereum referendum that's supposed to come down, and supposedly, it's supposed to improve the whole system and eliminate certain problems that have been going on. But overall, it's supposed to be beneficial. So everybody who actually has Ethereum or is invested is more or less, told to withstand this and go through this process.
Right.
Because it's going to be beneficial in the long run for everybody.
Right.
And it does prevent, it's an alternative to Bitcoin again.
Yeah, in some ways. I mean, it's not money the same way Bitcoin is money, or at least I don't think of it that way. But it still has value for its own reasons, because you got to use it, for gas, for doing all kinds of stuff on the network. And then the demand for it, keeps the price up. So then it has some store of value use too. So yeah, I mean, the only thing is it's expensive to send and everything, which is annoying. It's not that great to use as money because it's expensive to send, and gas fees have been so high. But apparently they're going to work all that stuff out.
Yeah, that's a lot of what that 2.0 July referendum thing is about. Is sort of working out some of these bugs and problems in the system, and streamlining this a little bit better, because they recognize themselves as a potential competitor to Bitcoin in the long run.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's a huge distance between the two right now, but that's also profitable to potential investors.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I like it. I like Ethereum a lot. I can't, in a lot of ways, you don't need to have any more than just Bitcoin and Ethereum, though sometimes these other coins are fun.
Very much so. Yeah, I really like your. Am I talking to Nathan?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I really like your approach on LiteCoin. I've been really studying it for quite some time. I wish I would have got in a little bit earlier. I like Uniswap. I like Stellar Lumens. I think has been looking really good recently. Also on the same level as Ethereum. It's a network and a coin.
Right.
And if you're looking to not necessarily play the long game, but make some money in different altcoins, I think these are all very good alternatives. Although I do think LiteCoin and even potentially Uniswap, I really see as potential for long-term earnings and development and just all around. What do you think?
Well, I like investing in things that I'm familiar with, and I've used Uniswap, and I see the appeal of it, and I can see why it's valued as high as it is right now. So I see it as kind of like a blue chip. I mean, they're the leaders basically in the DeFi. When I think of DeFi, I kind of think of Uniswap lately. So I think I can see the value. I can definitely see the value proposition. I mean, it's already worth quite a bit. Uniswap's already, I think, has a higher market cap than LiteCoin. So I don't know how much growth is there, but there probably still is some.
Well, and like a lot of these, there's, as I don't know if it was you or somebody else said, but Bitcoin and a lot of these leaders, Ethereum, as they do well, I mean, as we can look at the market today on Coinbase or various other, formats, as others do well, they all seem to profit.
Right.
And when the market's down, everything seems to suffer.
Yeah.
And you get sell-offs and, so forth.
Yep, exactly. So, and when the market goes down, at least last time, a lot of times when the market goes down, Bitcoin goes down less than everything else. So that's the one nice thing about Bitcoin is when things go down, it's nice to have Bitcoin because everything else really tanks a lot of times. But we haven't seen that now for a little while.
Exactly. And I think everything, as you've, I'm sure, noticed over the last week or so, has been really kind of holding steady. Like nothing seems to want to surge or fall back too much. It's all, I feel like we're on the cusp of something, like you said earlier in the broadcast, that a lot of pundits are saying that 100, 200, 300K is possible for Bitcoin by the end of the year.
Right.
And it certainly is. I feel it. I mean, it could be, and I want to be there, obviously, like a lot of other people. And I just think that as much potential as that is there, that with the smaller firms or the smaller coins, you can actually make it's more profitable in the long run because they're going to benefit with Bitcoin's rise.
Right. Yep. As long as things keep going up, altcoins typically do even better than Bitcoin. So there's a lot of money to be made, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I won't take up too much more of your time, but I really appreciate your time, Nathan, and I enjoyed the show when it was Lift the Veil, and I just so happen really enjoy crypto as well. So
cool. Great. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're tuning in for it.
Thank you. All right. Well, have a good night, and look forward to the rest of the broadcast.
All right. Cool. See you. That was really cool. That's auspicious. Good first phone call, totally about cryptocurrency, and interesting. Great. Bitcoin's over 60K. That's good. But really, once all-time highs around 62, once it goes through that, I don't know. I mean, see you later, Sally. Once Bitcoin gets through its all-time high again, then I think, it could be kind of hard to catch. Like when it broke through 20K the first time. Or not the first time, but when it really broke through. 650-429-8294 if you want to call in. We can see if we take a few more calls. We have people tuned in on DLive and on YouTube. And then tomorrow night we'll be on DLive with the news show. And I'll see if I get any more calls. We're going to see. We're building this channel, right? Going to get some more guests. Going to keep talking about different subjects. I got to start making videos for tutorials and stuff too. So I'm going to get on that. Going to show how to use a Bitcoin ATM. I have to make a video about that. But one thing I'm going to get into is starting to put some stuff together for how to do certain things. So you can call in 650-429-8294. This is just a tiny little show. But we have big dreams. Big dreams. Not everybody who listened to the old shows into cryptocurrency. But at least they're not mad about it anymore. At first they were kind of. Paul Sarr says, what do you think of making 8% on USDC? Why would they pay so much? Take out a $100,000 loan, buy US. Yeah, I know. Not bad, right? I know. It's crazy. I understand. I think they really need liquidity really bad. I think liquidity in US dollar coins is probably really desirable and it pays good because people can get just arbitrage or I don't know. There are just different things you can do with liquidity that I think is enough to make 8%. I don't know, but it seems like a number of different places are doing it. You can do it through DeFi. You can collect pretty decent interest on US dollar coins. So why don't people do it? I don't know. I don't know why banks, if I was a bank, I'd be like, okay, I'll give you 1% interest and blow away every other bank on earth as far as a savings rate on a savings account. And just take your money, turn it into US dollar coin and earn 8 to 12% and just keep the extra, and then just for taking the risk, whatever the risk is. If I was a bank and I was allowed to do that, that's what I would do. It's ridiculous. Why aren't they offering, if you can get money on US dollar equivalents, why can't you get money on regular US dollars? What's the difference? Doesn't Visa say it's the same thing now? I don't know, man. People are leaving money on the table. You can earn interest on crypto too, and hardly anybody's doing that yet. But it seems like that's relatively safe. Earn interest on cryptocurrency, 6% on Bitcoin, 6.2% I think on Celsius, up to 2 Bitcoin. It's crazy. No, you got to get with it. You got to get with what's going on. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, it's your boy CL.
Hey man, what's going on? How are you doing?
Good. I heard you talking about banks and
yes,
holding crypto on their books, and right now JP Morgan's trade desk and Bank of America both have patents in. JP Morgan got theirs approved. They added 30 guys to a crypto trade desk.
Right.
But all these banks have it specifically in their bank charters that they can't hold crypto on their books, and it's been baked in from decades. They all picked their head up a year or two ago and wanted to move crypto in for some of their people, because even bondholders or whomever, if you just took 1% of your total holdings, which wouldn't even be risky, and just put it into crypto, that they want those positions, but the banks, they have it baked in that they can't hold
right
electronic currencies. Yeah, Bank of America just put up 4 patents that's what I've been following, is trying to follow the banking and the software in between, at all the stress points where there's friction and where there's points to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, I think this market's going to absolutely get flooded. You have the Coinbase IPO on the 14th, so now everyone's going to pick their head up and just be like, oh, this is where I get Bitcoin. And,
right.
Oh, it's that easy, so that's
right.
going to pump. In regards to holding some of these tokens and making interest, I'm making a shit ton of money on KuCoin. I bought into the KuCoin token at 7, last Tuesday.
Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to use KuCoin, or do you need a VPN?
Well, so I can do it from New York, and New York is hella restricted.
Right.
We can't even get on Binance USA. The new school Binance, not the old school Binance. People who are grandfathered into the first Binance OG platform, they can still trade from New York.
Right.
But the new Binance platforms, KYC, they're know your customer stuff, boxed out all of the New York investors.
Right.
KuCoin's from Japan. And I don't know, man. I've moved stuff around from wallet to wallet. So right now it's loose. We're not getting taxed. We're not getting any paperwork on this stuff.
Right.
I've moved into KuCoin and out of KuCoin with all my Coinbase. I've moved to my own wallets, and I moved to other people's wallets. But just really quickly, I know I'm racing. I guess I'm a little charged up to call into the show. It's been a little while.
Awesome.
Algorand is one of these tokens that's in the way, so to speak. They're the Oracle platform and the Oracle banking side that's going to get through. Cello's another one. Ripple, actually, XRP sits right in the middle. Their ledger is going to be used by a lot of these people. And so Algorand on Coinbase will give you 6% daily APR. So they pay out your annual percentage daily in tokens right there for anyone who wants to hold something pretty solid. And the KuCoin gives you 50%, Nathan.
On
They're
what?
giving you 50% on your money right now, and there's not a fucking position on there that KuCoin doesn't. They stake everything. Whomever KuCoin is obviously bought enough crypto to start their own exchange. And so some positions like Telcoin or VChain or some of these other ones that I've been buying aren't staked against the KuCoin. KCS is its call symbol. But whatever it's tethered against, even if Bitcoin's up, KuCoin's getting so much money right now, it's beating everything. Last I looked, I'm up $19 a coin right now.
Wow.
And I'm in at 7.
Wow, good for you.
But so that's my point. So Binance is what, a $260 token right now.
It's $500 now. Binance Coin is
right?
$500.
$500-600, right. I'm just going off the top of my head. So $500-600. The Uniswap token, 33-ish, you know what I mean? Chainlink's another one. And really quickly, sorry to charge through this phone call, there is a large difference between Bitcoin and Ether and the rest of the market, and it falls within the proof of work. And Ether 2.0 kind of whittled it down to proof of stake,
right,
where they're not doing all the back work. They're not
right,
pulling all the info from the nodes. They whittled it down to some hashtags and some trees, and like it's quicker. But you can, so what I'm buying is companies like Scale and some of these other ideas like XYO protocol and some of these other ones that are going to work with the Ethereum 2.0 chain, the V chain and VTOR. They're their own like chain and platform, so and token. So I'm just throwing a bunch out there. There's so much opportunity right now. This is the transformational wealth. You know, this is the great reset.
It is.
So people need to just get their money in. You know, it's like just get in.
Yeah.
And even the Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin by this time next year is going to be 130 grand. Easy.
By this time next year, easy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. If it just doesn't take off. I mean, I've seen some Fibonacci scale charts that they put out that said Bitcoin should be like 70 or 80 right now. That was like last month.
Right, right. Yeah, no, it's been in a long little correction or whatever you call it. So once it does break out of this, then I think it's going to move pretty fast.
I think a lot of these institutions are going to fill some bags, and they don't want this thing to take off on them. And I really, really think that, what is it, maybe like 24 trillion in some markets, and some say 300 trillion altogether. If they just took 1% of that and moved that over, it's more than the 2 trillion that's in there now.
Right.
You know, Bitcoin's one of that 2 trillion on a good day.
Right.
So.
Yeah, pretty exciting. You probably gave some good advice there as far as dropping some stuff. I have to look into KuCoin. I haven't messed around with that yet.
So I think you guys are even better for Binance. KuCoin's got some picks that, you know, I couldn't find anywhere else. I figure if all else fails, I'll just fly to Japan, because they're literally paying people in XRP right now. Their shops are using XRP.
Really?
You know, and I have, you know, a 5,000 XRP over there and like another 10,000 on Coinbase. I have so much XRP, it's stellar.
Wow.
That those are what I'm backing up the truck to.
Great. Good for
I love
you.
when people pick on me for it, too, because it just means they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not into XRP, but it's done really well. I mean, yeah.
Well, and it's so opposite of the Bitcoin because they're not mining. They're going off the ledger.
Right,
I know some people had mentioned how much money are they using on the ledger. They're using so much money currently, and there's just so much room on there. They also, that's where I experience it the most. So now when I whip money in between Coinbase and KuCoin, my Bitcoin will take anywhere from 10 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour.
Right.
My Algorand moves like lightning.
Right.
I paid somebody in XRP, it moved even faster. Now I'm used to paying an Algorand, and they'll take anywhere from like $1 during premium hours, because all of these DeFi platforms charge you gas based on the time of day.
Right.
And it's basically a lot of it's their sales volume. It's just like Robinhood, where these platforms are allowed to exist because they I don't know how they leapfrogged the paperwork, but they did. Like, they're in. But now they're able to abscond with all the volume. So Robinhood is in such a position that all they have, they're like Las Vegas taking sports action. You know, they immediately can offset the action. You know, and I don't know what I was trying to say with that, but the DeFi platforms is where it's at.
I know. Well, pretty exciting. What can I say? You're right. Glad you're in.
Well, it definitely was from us, you know, me listening to you and us talking about it.
Cool.
Even way back like 2 years ago. So.
Yep. Cool. Great.
Cool, man. Keep rocking.
All right. You too. See ya.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. All right. I can take another call. That was pretty good. So far, this show's been successful. Wonder if we got anybody tuned in. We're learning, you know. Oh, this is great. Great. Things are looking up. No, seriously, we're looking for a real positive future. That's the other thing about doing this channel, is we can be positive, and then we can all be happy together about what's going on in our different worlds. What did he mention? I feel like I have to buy everything. Gosh. Algorand. Yeah, people have been talking about Algorand. Okay. Got to look into that. I have been hearing lots of things about Algorand. So that's the good thing about being involved in crypto all the time. You start hearing about different stuff. You get tips on things. You got to stay in the loop. Is this the same person? Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Drury Lane. How's it going?
Hey man, what's up? Hold on, you're really quiet.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I can turn you up.
Hold on. Is this any better?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, now I can hear you just normal. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, Drury Lane? How are you doing, man? Living the Bitcoin life.
Yeah, man, loving it. Celebrating. I was in and out of the show because I was taking out my first Aave loan.
Okay, yes. So you're my man who's actually using Aave. I like Aave. I think it's got promise.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I definitely overpaid transaction. I kind of did it as a trial run, so I know how to do it in the future. It's kind of worth it. It's just, I guess they're going on Matic as a ZK rollup, so that the fees. So the issue really is that you got to pay a fee to put your collateral in,
right?
And then a fee to borrow it, and then a fee to withdraw it,
right?
Into your bank account,
right?
And like theoretically, if that were all one move on the blockchain, like even if that one fee were $30 to $50 for a few $100 loan, that's really not that bad when you consider you're holding on to your assets and everything still.
Right. But you have to pay it 3 times though, so it's not just one fee anyway.
Right. But that's theoretically what them moving on to the Matic network for ZK rollup is to make that all one fee transaction.
Right. So Aave works, technically speaking, but it's not that practical yet because they haven't worked out a way to make the fees go down. But it works.
Yeah, definitely. And depending on what you're trying to do, at larger sums, it can be a lot more worth it.
Right.
But it worked great. I mean, it took me maybe a half hour to 45 minutes, and it was cash in my bank account.
Right. Nice.
And it's cool too because you can, if these Visa cards or payment cards are going to start picking up USDC coins, and that's pretty much what you borrow a stable coin against your crypto.
Okay.
For a loan.
Got it.
Right. So like, if we're going to be able to use the USDC that we're getting out of a loan and put it right in, like to load up a Visa card.
Right.
That would be pretty slick, especially if any kind of gas mitigation. I mean, it was like $80 of gas for like a $175 loan with $250 of collateral.
Right. So that's crazy. Nobody would do that. You just did it to be the person who could say they did it, but otherwise it wasn't financially good.
Yeah, because I own the Aave token, and I knew all the theoretics of it being amazing are definitely there. I wanted to try it, and it wasn't even as bad as I thought. And like I said, at that same scale, even $30 or $40 for transaction fees would just be a minimal fee reduction for Ethereum, and that alone, the ZK rollup could do that pretty easily.
Well,
you're talking probably more so.
You're talking about pretty technical stuff for probably a lot of people, but it's the Aave network. Basically, it can go. It's a decentralized lending and interest and staking platform. And the problem is that just like a lot of other DeFi, it runs on Ethereum and gas is expensive. So right now it's expensive to do things there. So not necessarily profitable unless you're using large amounts of money. but it works. It works, and
Right.
it's decentralized finance, and that's a good thing. So you still like the project? You still like Aave?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, the using it was really quick for my first time to get to borrow against my own Ether and have cash in my bank account within an hour is
amazing.
Is a huge, like, just knowing that possibility is
yeah.
You know, and especially because that's not a tax event either. So it's very appealing if that could be your liquidity, like your cash source.
Right. And then what do? You pay back the loan. How do you pay it back? In US dollar coins?
Right.
Oh, amazing. That's so great.
Yeah, it was really easy to load up, and again, like, we only just heard about Visa, but wait till these Visa cards that support USDC payments and stuff start. Like, the whole thing is just going to get more seamless.
Yeah.
And even the most conservative estimate at gas reduction, I think is going to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, right. It's like, kind of forget about that gas fees are crazy now. In the future, they won't be. They're going to figure it out. And then this stuff is going to be really crazy.
Right. Yeah, and they don't even have to, like, do anything miraculous. Like I said, like, even a conservative fix in the gas fees would make serious loans pretty good. And, you know, especially if you could find some passive income move, and you could just take out your month's pay out of that loan that one time, and then it's just one big transaction fee. You know, that there's, I guess the better you are with a strategy, I guess it gives you a lot of freedom to I don't know, maneuver stuff and depending on the situation.
Right. Well, it is cool. I mean, it's definitely the way people are talking about getting money out of cryptocurrency is not without having to sell it. So if you have a way to, as long as you have a way to pay back your loan, and then what if you had to sell some crypto to pay back your loan? Like, would you have to sell crypto you have locked up? Or
so that's how they do, when you need to have a specific ratio of over collateralized, right? So you can only take out 80% of a loan from what you leave in there locked up as collateral.
Okay, so in other words, if you have $100 in collateral, you can take $80 in loan max.
Right.
Is that right?
And that's right.
Okay.
And so there's this loan health factor though. That ratio has to maintain constant, and say if my collateral started dropping in value and the stablecoin staying still, then what was 80% starts to become 100%. As the collateral becomes less valuable, right, your loan health goes, and if it gets so close that your loan's going to be less valuable or your collateral is going to be less valuable than the loan, then they'll liquidate you, just like they would in
they just liquidate you.
Right, and that's how they make sure the people providing the stable coins get paid back every time.
Right. Interesting. And then what could you do if you wanted to maintain your loan? Would you just have to add more collateral then, like a margin call?
Right. You'd have to add more collateral or pay down the margin.
Or pay down the balance. Right.
Right.
So.
And the cool thing about Aave, because I almost did it through Celsius first, because I just put it first thing in Celsius. They had like a $500 minimum for me, and you can only use one thing. Like, you can only take your loan against Bitcoin. The cool thing with Aave is you can make a pool of collateral.
Really?
Several.
Really?
Yeah. So you can have like a 50% ETH, 15% Aave, a fragmented pool of collateral, and you can move it around as your loan's in there. If something starts to drop crazy, you can switch it out for a different piece of collateral.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, man.
but-
I mean, all that stuff is really revolutionary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I know someone asked to hear about it, and
Cool. Well, I'm glad to give you an update.
Pretty freeing for the future.
Yeah. I'm into Aave. I believe in the long term for that. So it's cool that the platform works. And it's good to know that the DeFi stuff is working in general. That's good.
Right.
Cool, man.
Yeah, and I was also going to mention there's the way we're talking about altcoins and Bitcoin. I think what got me really excited about it was when I realized that things like Aave token or Ethereum or Chainlink, they're more like investing in a public company, and the public company is the protocol.
Right.
And the way it becomes decentralized is that token runs on an economy that grows as the protocol is being used.
Right.
So instead of like, it's just like when a company performs well, the shareholders get more dividends and value to their stock, right?
Right.
So I don't know. It just kind of feels now that like comparing like a Bitcoin and Ethereum is like comparing gold to Tesla shares or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. I mean, that's how I started to think about it. Is Bitcoin like gold, and then everything else is a lot like stocks. Although Ethereum is kind of like oil. I mean, you can definitely compare it to oil because you have to use it, you have to burn it supposedly. So, but then everything else, I think of it like some kind of a stock, like investing in some kind of a stock, basically, just for a totally new system.
Right. Yeah. So that's an important clarity. Like I feel like expecting any one of these things to take over what Bitcoin does. I mean, there's LiteCoin, which is a good challenger, but that can also be symbiotic. But it just seems like Bitcoin's going to be the placeholder, and then everything else. Like you probably wouldn't even hold something like a share for as long as you would Bitcoin. You'd go with the growth of the protocol, and it's going to go through a cycle.
Right.
But
anyway,
yeah.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Thanks for the update on Aave.
Yeah. I missed a bunch of the show. I'm gonna have to rewatch on the website.
All right, cool. Well, it's up. It's gonna be up on YouTube and stuff too. So wherever you want to check it out.
Cool.
All right, man.
Right on. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks for the call. See ya.
Yep. Have a good night.
Bye. That's cool. He's living the Bitcoin dream. He's messing around with DeFi and everything with the Aave protocol. Yep, that's the whole thing. You can stake you can earn interest, and you can borrow against your cryptocurrency. That's a big deal. I got to look into KuCoin now, because your boy CL said KuCoin is where it's at. Jeez. So much going on. Got to be a part of it. You got to be a player. But do you need more than Bitcoin? I don't know. Bitcoin's pretty good. Bitcoin is pretty good, I think. 650-429-8294 if you want to call in. Good calls so far. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. Good seeing so many people here. Paul Sar says, make an NFT. Yes, I can make an NFT. I could do an episode. Making and selling an NFT just for fun. Just have to be able to get enough people tuned in so that I can get a buyer. At least one buyer. But yes, we can make an NFT live. I've done it before, but it wasn't that cool. It wasn't like a proprietary NFT. It was just to try it out. Oh, I saw Titus Frost in the chat. He is a pirate. People have so many opinions. Dogecoin is just killing it. I love Dogecoin. Dogecoin is killing it. Dogecoin is a good currency if people would use it. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Nathan. I was just calling in. I actually work for a mortgage company, and I wanted to just give some information as far as how to use your crypto as assets.
Yes. You mean
if
as
you want to
collateral?
purchase a home.
Oh, okay. Are you going to tell us about it, or do I have to tell you? Because I don't know much about that.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, because banks just now started using or allowing cryptos as assets.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like a little tricky how they do it now.
Okay.
Because it is so new to the mortgage industry.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Okay. So what we have seen so far is that, and I'm not very versed on cryptos, but in like, I guess like whenever you have like a bank or, you know, wherever you hold your cryptos,
right,
what the underwriters want to see is when you cash that out and convert it to like your regular bank account,
right,
they want to see your balance before you transfer anything, before you cash it out. They want to know how much you have in there and then how much you're transferring out. So I guess the only way, because there is no like normal bank account or like receipt, you know how like you can typically go to your bank account and print on a statement.
Right.
I don't think that there is anything like that from what I
Really?
know.
So are you saying you have to sell your collateral though to, what are you saying?
If you're going to use that to put money down on a home.
Right, right. You have to turn it into dollars.
Right, you have
Right,
to turn it into
of
regular
course.
dollars.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm. And so we actually just had somebody who, it was a little tricky because when they cashed out part of their Bitcoin turned into cash, the amount that was left was actually different because the amount for Bitcoin went up.
Right.
So they were like, well, wait a minute, now there's more in this account. And again, this is new to the mortgage companies.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of like working through all of these variables.
Right. Huh.
But if your listeners are, you know, have a lot of money and they want to convert it to cash to be able to purchase a home, what they would want to do before they do anything is just talk to their company and say, hey, look, here's a screenshot of what I have right now. I can transfer X amount of money or crypto. It's
Right.
going to be converted into cash. And then when you deposit it into your normal bank account, they want to see, okay, let's just say, for example, you cashed out $20,000. They want to see the $20,000 being deposited into your normal bank account.
Okay.
If they don't see that, they don't know where that $20,000 came from.
Weird.
So
Weird.
They don't know. It could have come from anywhere.
So they just want to be convinced that your Bitcoin is really your Bitcoin by seeing that process?
Yes. And I don't know, again, I'm not very versed on crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there are wallets out there that can show like your name along with your balance.
Well, you would think with a Coinbase account or something like that. I mean, that's connected to your identity. So you would think that would be acceptable for them, the same as any other bank account. But it sounds like maybe not.
Right, because they just want to make sure that here is your name. This is your actual crypto.
Weird. Huh.
So
That's
however
interesting.
you're holding your crypto and you want to cash it out to purchase as for a down payment, whatever, that's how they're going to see it. They want to verify that account is yours.
Okay.
And that is your crypto, and that, again, let's just say, for example, $20,000, you're cashing that out and you're converting it to $20,000 cash, and then they want to see exactly $20,000 then being deposited into your bank account.
I got it. Interesting. All right. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, thanks for calling to let us know.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Again, this is kind of new to the mortgage industry that they're just now allowing this.
Right.
So just kind of wanted to let everybody know, hey,
Okay.
I know you guys got a lot of crypto, and here's what you need to do.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. You're very welcome.
All
Have
right.
a good night.
You have a good night too. See ya.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cool. Cool. I'm getting great phone calls. This show's going to work out okay, I think. Just got to keep hitting the gas. Don't pump the brakes. Got to stay on the gas. Got to do more shows, different things, have good guests. Got to make it real. Got to keep it real on LTV Crypto. 650-429-8294. I might be about to sign off. We might have gotten all the phone calls that we're going to get for the day. But that's okay. Stay tuned. Make sure to visit our sale at truthclothing.io. Make sure if you want to sign up for crypto consulting, you go to bitcoinmissionary.com to sign up with me. You want to. You want to get in on it. You want to get on the action. You can't wait. I'm just waiting. It's just going to be that Bitcoin goes through 60K and then it's just going to go nuts. Once it gets through 62, I guess. But all right, and ARRR coin is moving while we're talking. ARRR coin, pirate chain, it's up to $1.41. I think it was half that like 2 days ago. And we'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll close the phone. Okay, make sure to visit our sponsors. If you want to catch the other show, tune in live Mondays and Thursday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time at dlive.tv/lifttheveil. That's where I'm live also now and where the extra shows go. And become a subscriber at lifttheveil411.com to get access to like the news shows, the other shows. For crypto, stay subscribed to this channel. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, leave nice comments and everything. We'll keep coming back to you with more crypto stuff. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you had a good weekend. And we'll just be pumping shit coins from here on out. No, we're in it for the long haul. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good seeing everybody. Appreciate it. For YouTube, that is what it is.